Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you all of my most anticipated releases for the rest of 2015. I have a lot of books that I'm really excited for that are coming out within the next several months from now until the end of the year, and I'm going to be telling you all of them and their release dates and how incredibly excited I am for these books to be reality and to be in my hand. There's a whole gambit of things coming to you in this video, and I am going to list them off for you in chronological order so that you can prepare your calendars and your paychecks for when all these books hit the stores so that you can go check them out. These are the ones that I am most excited for, the ones that I will probably be buying, because let's be honest, I have an issue with buying books. I mean, I have no restraint. And the first one on my list comes out on August 18th, and that is Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan. This is kind of done in the similar fashion to Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson's Greek Gods. I haven't read that yet. I always forget about it because it's kind of down here, not with my books. I really am interested to read it because it's all of the classic Greek myths told from Percy's point of view. So that's going to be fantastic and awesome. This is just the same idea, but it's myths about the heroes. Jason, Achilles, Hercules, I mean, come on. It's all those people that we know and love. So I'm really excited about this. On my list is Layer of Dreams by Libba Bray, and this book comes out on August 25th. This is the sequel to The Diviners, which came out several years ago, and we've been waiting a very long time for the sequel. I have not read The Diviners. I do have it on my iPad. I've heard wonderful things about it from those who have read it. From what I understand, it is a 1920s occult novel. I know that this is a very highly anticipated book that people have been waiting a very long time for, because I do believe that The Diviners came out quite a few years ago, and then probably wait another like 3 years for book 3, if there's going to be a book 3. Next, I have the Copper Gauntlet by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, and this one comes out on September 1st. This is the second book in the Magisterium series. It follows The Iron Child, which I just read. I thoroughly enjoy all of Cassandra Clare's books. I haven't read anything by Holly Black before, so I'm not super familiar with her work, but I hear wonderful things about her from everybody else on BookTube. It is a middle grade series, and there's magic involved. I'm excited for this sequel to come out. I'm going to say I'm excited at least like 1,700 times in this video, so just bear with me. The next book also comes out on September 1st, and that is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, and everybody and their mother is freaking anticipating the heck out of this book. I'm currently in the process of reading this series. I thoroughly intend to complete this series to its current point before September 1st, so I can read this book with everybody else, because if I don't read this book the moment it comes out, I'm going to be so sad inside because everyone's going to be talking about it on Goodreads and Twitter and YouTube, and I'm going to feel very left out. I'm thoroughly enjoying this series so far. This is going to be, I mean, like, have no words to explain the excitement I have for this book. Next book on my list is Sweet Temptation by Wendy Higgins, and this book comes out September 8th. This is the 4th book in the Sweet Evil trilogy. It is the story retold from the main male protagonist's viewpoint. So it's kind of like the Midnight Sun of the series, if you want to compare it to Twilight. I've only read book 1, but I really loved book 1. It was super, super good. I do really enjoy Caden as a character. He's super funny. He's like my favorite kind of male character. I am so excited that I'm going to be able to read from his point of view because he's such an interesting character. I'm just, yeah, I'm excited for this book. But why does it have to have such an ugly cover? The next book on my list is The Scorpion Rules by Erin Bow, and this book comes out on September 22nd. I don't know too much about this book other than I believe it's like a post-apocalyptic or a dystopian universe. I'm not entirely sure. The sons and daughters of all of the powerful families, so the kings, the presidents, the ruling whatever, send all of their children to a school where they are all raised together, and then if they don't succeed or something happens, they sacrifice their children. I don't really remember. It sounds so incredibly interesting. I want to say it is a middle grade novel. I'm not entirely sure. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I looked up the description on Goodreads because I figured that should give you a more accurate description of what this book is about. And it says that a world that was battered by climate shift and war turns to an ancient method of keeping peace, the exchange of hostages. Sons and daughters of kings, presidents, generals, people in power are raised together in small isolated villages or schools where they learn history and political theory and are taught to gracefully accept what may well be their fate, to die if their countries declare war. If their country goes to war, then their parents sacrifice them to keep the peace. It's so cool. I'm really excited to read this. Like I said, it's the first in a new series. I think it's a series. It could be a standalone. I don't know. It sounds so cool. The next book on my list is Zeros by Scott Westerfeld, and this book comes out on September 29th. This is the first book in a new series. I believe it is about people who are graced with superpowers. However, they are really awfully lame superpowers, nothing that you would really be envious of or want. I don't know about it from there, but that sounds super cool. I already love books about powers and kids with powers and having supernatural abilities. So the fact that these people have really crappy powers, you never really hear about that. It's just people with awesome powers. So anticlimactic superpowers, it sounds so cool. I'm really excited to read this one. Next book I have is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and this one comes out on October 6th. I believe it's some kind of companion novel to Fangirl. I have not yet read Fangirl. There's a character in the book that Carry On is based off of, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but it has some correlation to Fangirl is what I'm trying to say. Wish the cover matched Fangirl a little bit better, because this doesn't match at all in any way to any edition of Fangirl that I have seen. So why would you do that? And the next book I have is the Harry Potter Year 1 Illustrated Edition, and this one also comes out on October 6th. Now, I've seen excerpts of these in people's BEA book hauls, and this looks beautiful. Basically, they've taken the Harry Potter novels and transformed them into a illustrated, more like children's book. I don't know, but they look beautiful. The drawings look so pretty. They're releasing one of these every year for the next 7 years, starting with this year. I mean, as an avid Harry Potter fan, of course I'll be owning this because I do need 3 copies of every book, right? The original hardcovers, the new paperbacks, and the illustrated editions. That's not too many Harry Potters, is that? I don't think so. I also have Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard coming out on October 6th. This is by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in his new series based on Norse mythology. I am so excited. I don't know anything about Norse mythology. I need to learn something about it because it was more interesting to read Percy Jackson than it was to read the Kane Chronicles because I knew something about Greek mythology, which I know nothing about Egyptian mythology, so I was a little bit lost reading those stories. It's going to be great. His stories and writing is just, it's great. They're all great. The next book on my list is Ice Like Fire by Sarah Rosh, and this book comes out on October 13th. This is the sequel to Snow Like Ashes, and I read that book a couple of months ago and completely loved it. I didn't know anything about that series going into it, and I was blown away. My expectations were met and far exceeded. It was so good. It's about the kingdom of winter specifically, but there are seasonal kingdoms within this larger kingdom, and it's all about their culture and them warring, and there's magic, and it's so cool, and I am so excited to see where the story goes in this next book. If this book delivers what that book did, we're going great places with the series. Cannot wait to get my hands on. Then we have The Rose Society by Marie Lu. This also comes out on October 13th. This is the sequel to The Young Elites, which came out last fall. The Young Elites was a very difficult book for me to get through. I just didn't connect with the characters, and I had a hard time getting through it, but then the epilogue for that book sold me. Icing on the cake. It is a cross between X-Men and Game of Thrones, people with superpowers, but it's set in a medieval society. If you want to know more of my thoughts on how I feel about this book, I'll link my review down below. And the next book on my list is Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith. This one comes out on October 20th. This is the 3rd book in the Cormoran Strike series. It is a mystery thriller adult series. It follows Cormoran Strike, who is a wounded war vet, and he is now a detective. He's got this young apprentice. Each book focuses on a new case, or so far that's how the series has been written, so I'm excited to see what my new murder mystery will be in this next book. Also on October 20th, Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff comes out. This book has been getting a ton of buzz on BookTube. It was featured in everybody's BEA book haul. Katrina from Little Book Owl has raved about it. I don't know what it's about at all. Based on everyone else's excitement for it, I am now excited for it. I believe it is the first in a new series. I don't think I want to know what this book is about. I think I kind of want to just go into it completely blind. I really enjoy doing that with books, regardless of what genre it is. I don't have a synopsis for you, but I do know that everybody's really excited about it. I will link the Goodreads page down below if you want to educate yourself on what the synopsis is. And then on November 10th, we have Winter by Marissa Meyer. This is the 4th book in the Lunar Chronicles. It is the final book. It is probably everybody's most anticipated release of this fall and this year. I read the first 3 books in this series earlier this year and I thoroughly enjoyed them. They were incredibly imaginative and I loved the way that she incorporated classic fairy tales into a futuristic sci-fi setting. It was so cool and different and unlike anything I've read before that this is just going to be the icing on the cake for the series. It's going to be crazy. This book is centered on Snow White. We had Rapunzel, Cinderella, and Red Riding Hood previously, so I'm excited to see how she incorporates Winter into our already very eclectic cast of characters, and then how she incorporates Snow White into this story. She's done a wonderful job so far, so I'm sure she's going to do a wonderful job with this one as well. And that was it. That was the final book on my list for my most anticipated books for the rest of 2015. I'm so excited to get all of these. Thinking about how many I just named, that is so much money that I'm going to be spending on books. I should probably have like a book budget incorporated into my monthly budget. I don't have enough books to read as it is, right? What is a new release coming out from now until December that you are super excited for? Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I will talk to you very soon. Bye!